Alright, gather round, history buffs and science nerds, because we're about to dive into one of the biggest aha moments of the 20th century. Ever looked in the mirror and thought, wow, I really have my daddest nose, or where did I get this terrible sense of direction? Thanks, Mom. Well, the answer to those deep, profound questions lies in a tiny, twisty molecule that wasn't fully understood until 1953. Before then, scientists knew there was something inside our cells that passed down traits, kind of like a secret family recipe book, but they had no idea what it looked like or how it worked. It was one of the greatest mysteries in science. Enter our main characters, James Watson, a young American whiz kid, and Francis Crick, a brilliant British physicist. These two were working at Cambridge University, and let's just say they were obsessed. They were like a scientific buddy cop duo, brainstorming, building models, and probably drinking a lot of tea. They were convinced the structure of this mystery molecule, DNA, was the key to everything. But they weren't the only ones on the case. Over at King's College London, there was Rosalind Franklin. Franklin was an absolute master of a technique called X-ray crystallography. Think of it as taking super high-res photos of molecules. And she took the most famous picture in the history of biology, Photo 51. This image was the smoking gun. It clearly showed that the DNA molecule was a helix, like a spiral staircase. Now, here's where the history gets a little bit spicy. Watson and Crick got a peek at Franklin's data, some say without her full permission. When they saw Photo 51, everything clicked into place. It was the final clue they needed. They raced back to their lab and started building their now famous model out of metal plates and rods. It wasn't just any spiral. It was a *double* helix. Two strands, twisted around each other like a ladder. The rungs of the ladder were made of 4 chemical bases, A, T, C, and G, and they discovered a crucial rule: A always pairs with T, and C always pairs with G. This elegant structure was the breakthrough. It perfectly explained how DNA could copy itself, passing on genetic information from one generation to the next. It was the blueprint of life. When they realized what they had found, Crick reportedly burst into a local pub and announced they had discovered the secret of life. I mean, can you imagine the other pub goers? They were probably just trying to enjoy a quiet pint. The impact of this discovery was, and I'm not exaggerating, world-changing. It launched the field of modern genetics. Everything from ancestry tests that tell you you're 10% Viking, to genetically modified crops that feed the world, to revolutionary medical treatments for diseases, it all traces back to that twisted ladder model built in 1953. Sadly, Rosalind Franklin passed away before the Nobel Prize was awarded to Watson, Crick, and her colleague Maurice Wilkins. But today, her critical contribution is widely